So what is it? What is this new social trend? Michelle and I are part of this. Just out of curiosity, are you part of this? I think we might take a couple of final hour phone calls here. We didn't do a lot of phones today, did we?
I don't know that we did any.
Yeah, I don't know if we've taken any calls today. Just one of those days. But we shall hear. So the new social revolution is staying in.
Well,
From study finds. Hey, remember when Friday nights meant getting dressed up and hitting the town? Those days might be fading into memory as a fresh social shift takes hold across America. Recent survey finds that most Americans now prefer the comfort of their living rooms to the buzz of nightlife ventures. When asked to choose, nearly 3/4 of Americans, 72%, would rather stay home with friends than go out. I'm even writing the friends out of the picture.
Yeah, screw friends.
I mean, Michelle and I really, we're just happy to stay at home ourselves. I whip up some perfect cacio e pepe, because I've mastered the concept. I'll whip up some, some delicious food, and we'll open up a bottle of phenomenal wine and flip on the home theater and watch a couple of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe as I get older, I just find that just so relaxing and enjoyable. Versus, and listen, do I love a good night out at a good restaurant? Yeah, I do, but those times for us are becoming a little less frequent. And according to the Study Finds report, we're not the only ones.
I mean, I believe it. It's so relaxing and just not to have to do. Sometimes you find yourself I do look forward to going out with a few friends, but then on a Saturday, I get a little stressed about the commitment, and then it comes 4 o'clock, and you got to start getting ready because you got to leave at 6, and I'm like, oh my God, I would just love to stay in my jammies and.
Or we'll make plans.
Yeah.
Not with other people, but with our family plans.
Yeah.
And then
cancel them.
As it comes about, my wife's like, you know what?
Canceled.
It's fine if we just stay home. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the streaming services, MJ, literally any movie I could think about is available to me. Anything I want to do is available.
Yeah.
There was a time, for many, many years, there was a time, Michelle, where we were pretty much out every Friday and Saturday night.
Okay, so you
for
mentioned
years.
You know what? One of the things was our good friend Kelly Ring, one of her little pearls of wisdom when we had kids. She was like,
you know what, folks? Kelly Ring was not just one of the most well-known, beloved news anchors in the Tampa Bay area. Kelly Ring is Michelle's guiding light.
she's given me a lot of good guidance over the years, and I lived by a lot of the things she said. And you know what? I feel like it was successful for us.
Right.
She said to me once we had Chloe, she was like, "You still need a date night. You need to make that appointment. Just it's a date night. Don't break it. Barring whatever circumstances, right?"
Yep.
So I did. I consistently had a babysitter every Saturday, and sometimes they were sick. Sometimes we decided to not do it. Whatever, but. That was it. That kept us we knew when we were going out. So sometimes, we would make plans with friends, but sometimes it was just the two of us, and we would get a lot of stuff done, right? Like making vacation plans, or I would catch you up with what's happening with the kids at school or whatever. That was a good thing to go out every weekend because it was adult time. But now we don't have any little kids to,
be underfoot, have a babysitter for.
We're not trying to escape that little kidness.
Yeah.
Now we can. Yeah. Now when we go out, it's like, Chloe and Julian, come along. We're going out. We take them with us. So, I think it depends on where you are at in your life, right?
There was a survey of 2,000 Americans conducted by Talker Research.
Oh, yeah, Talker. Real big research, yeah.
And apparently cost savings play a big role. 53% say that saving money was a key factor.
That's the other side of it.
But
if you go out, you can't go out for less than $100.
But people also, that's cheap these days.
Yeah, right.
People also appreciate being able to hear conversations better, controlling their environment, skipping the formal attire.
Not getting DUIs, not renting Ubers.
Yeah. Let me grab a couple of calls on this. Are you in the same boat as this survey? Are you in the same boat with Michelle and me, and also Fester and Allison, that just not going out as much? And listen, I got a lot of friends in the restaurant business. I know they don't want to hear this. But I still love going to a whole variety of restaurants. I still love a great meal. But you know what else? mediocre or even mediocre plus has, really left my purview. It's when I go to a restaurant, it's really got to be memorable, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Memorable does not need to be expensive, because I can list you a whole bunch of places that are inexpensive that I love, for instance. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. I'd love to hear from you right now. Are you in the same boat with us that, we're just not going out as much? And what are your reasons? I mean, I just enjoy just not always running. I enjoy just chilling out and, again, the comfort of my own cushy couch in our little home theater setup and a bottle of wine and just a nice, tasty dinner at home. All right, the phones are rolling. 800-990-1047 gets you on. Are you staying in more as well? Hey, and listen, there's still plenty of people going out because the hot restaurants in town,
they're tough to get into, man.
They're still packed. There's still, you got an area with 3 million people or so. You're going to obviously have enough people to fill a lot of these places. So I don't know if places are hurting, but I just know where we are as a couple. Michelle and I are good. What percentage would you say we're down as far as we used to go out X percent of the time versus what is the percentage that you think we've lessened the amount that we go out?
89. We don't go out like, I don't know what you're asking, like the negative?
No,
we're down by 80%, 90%.
How much less are we going out?
Could you make it more complicated? I'll tell you. We have been out twice since the first of the year.
Is that it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just twice? Listen, I know we've been to
as a couple alone.
Hey,
as a.
Hang on, hold on. We've been to Cafe Paradiso. We've been to Massimo's. We've been to Donatello.
Not since the first of the year.
We really?
Yeah, really.
We've been to.
We went to pizza half a dozen
hold
times.
on. When did we go to Trattoria Pasquale for the big night? Was that before the first of the year?
Yes. We have not been out since the first of the year. We went once to Pont with a big group.
Right. Oh, that's right.
You and I went to Massimo's. I think we took Chloe.
Okay.
But we went to Luigi's. We were at Massimo's recently.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then
We can have this debate later.
But yeah, guys, you guys don't go out as often as you used to. Okay. You don't
Thank you,
go out
Foster.
twice or 4 times.
Well, Luigi wants us to go to the next big night.
And I can't wait to go.
He's hearing this conversation and he's thinking twice.
Yeah, he's saying no.
I don't want
Maybe not.
That MJ
All
guy
right,
doesn't shut up.
let's go to phones on this. 800-990-1047. Are you in the same boat? Are you going out less? There's a shift. There's a social revolution shift here. And staying in is like the new thing for many. Let me grab Kevin in Sarasota. If you want to get in, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Kevin, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, my favorite morning show. I couldn't live without you. MJ, I really think it's a matter of money. I mean, my wife and I, we used to go out just like you. We're in our 70s now. I mean, to go out for a good meal, I don't know where you get a good meal for $100, maybe at McDonald's. But, it's just a matter of you can make a beautiful meal, like you said, at home with your wife and enjoy a great bottle of wine, not be under any pressure, have a nice conversation. And I think that's the real reason. I think it all comes down to economics. I really do.
Yep. I agree. Money is absolutely the number one factor. Apparently, is money. For us, I got to be honest. It's not money for us. Although I tend to be a little frugal. I mean, I tend to not. I mean, I like fine things, but I'm not a money waster. But it's more about the time and the experience, and just not always feeling like I'm running. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the phone call. Let's grab Julia in Clearwater. Julia, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hey.
I noticed after the pandemic, I really stopped going out. I got used to staying at home with all of that, stay home. And I've kind of stuck to it. But I'm also 60, and I'm single. So I think maybe I don't feel like going out by myself. And has gotten really expensive, so I just stay home and cook.
Yeah.
Unless I have a date, I'm staying home.
There you go. Well, I would recommend, swiping left or right on what is that, Tinder?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm seeing someone right now, so he's taking me to Blake Shelton on Saturday night.
Awesome.
So,
Hey, have a great time, Julia. Thank you for calling in.
thanks. All right.
I love the demographics on the show. What? The guy was 70. She's 60.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab Kinal here in Wesley Chapel. I'm guessing she's in her 40s, kind of a regular caller. Kinal, how old are you?
I'm 40, going to be 41 in July.
Yeah, so that was a good guess. So just, 40 going on 41. Are you in the same boat as Michelle and me?
Yes. So we've got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So we're at a point where we can stay home and do a family movie night / game night with them and get to spend more time with them. And when me and my husband just want a night to ourselves, we'll send them to my mother-in-law's place, who lives a mile away from us.
Yep.
And
there you go.
the same amount of money that we would spend going out to a restaurant, we can do 4 or 5 date nights at home quietly.
Staying in is the new going out. Kinal, thanks for the call. Always great to hear from you. How about Tony in Tampa? Tony, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi. Tony, you there?
Oh, hey, yeah, hey.
Hey.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Hey, man, go ahead.
Hey, I called because it hits the spot, too. I'm in my middle 60s, and in fact, I know you and Michelle sort of from LaFleur's gymnastics.
Oh, yeah, the kids went to, so
Chloe.
How do you know us from LaFleur's Gymnastics?
Well, I just started talking to you. I'm very visual, and I was telling you about how I enjoyed your show, and my granddaughter and your daughter, Chloe, was going there.
There you
And
go,
as you
yep.
advance,
Yep.
as you advance, Todd, you pay more money. So the money I was spending, it's a boatload. You know how your kids are young, you get them into things. Now, I'm asking them to go out with me because we just stay at home. Like you said, the wine, the TV, you hang loose. That's all.
That's it. Tony, great to hear from you. Obviously been many years since we've spoken. That's a long time ago that Chloe was doing gymnastics at LaFleur's off of, what is that, Anderson up there?
Talk to you again in 15 years.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Rich in Tampa. Rich, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Yeah, for me, MJ, it's about the lack of service that's out there today. Used to be you could go out to almost any restaurant and be treated well, and now even some of the great restaurants, you just get treated like, you're a task and not a person.
There are some places where you get phenomenal service, and there are some places where you expect really good service, and sometimes you get a letdown on the experience. And some of these high-priced places that do a good job overall, you got to be on it all the time. With some of the price points that are out there, you got to be totally on top of it. And sometimes places do disappoint, and I find that I've become ultra hypercritical as I become more experienced and older. What are you laughing at?
It's not because you become more experienced. It's because you're getting older.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all it is.
You've been hypercritical since,
Yeah.
eight.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Rich, thanks for the call. Very good point. Let me grab Shelly in Riverview. Shelly, MJ Morning Show. You're next. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning, Shelly. Go ahead.
I just want to say Michelle hit the nail on the head about being in the kid thing when the kids are young and you just want to get out. Well, now our kids are older. We have a 16-year-old baseball player and a D1 college rower. And between chasing them and their games and their regattas around the country and work travel, there's nothing like being able to come home on the weekend and not have to go out and go upstairs and turn on the movie theater and have the nice bottle of wine and the cocktail and the popcorn and the Dalmatian dogs just sitting to pet your dog and just being home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely. Nothing like it. You said cocktail and wine, and guess what? Michelle's into the pregame. So Michelle loves the old fashions I make. Oh, remind me, I've got to get to Lucan's. I'm out of my rye. I got to get some Rittenhouse, okay?
All right.
We'll remind you.
Yeah, remind me, would you
We'll send
please?
you a text later.
Yeah, all right. Hey, thank you, Shelly. Great call. All right, 3 more. Oh, look at this, Rick James. I got Rick and James.
Let's go to Rick first.
Let me go to Rick, and then we'll go to James.
Yeah.
Rick James. Doom, 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 doom. Rick is in Dunedin. Rick, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. Great topic. Yeah, for me and my wife, it's a combination of things. it's not the money. It's the experience overall. We find that the services in a lot of places we used to go has degenerated. It's not enjoyable. The food value isn't there really either.
Well, listen, the restaurants, in all fairness, they're getting hammered with food costs. All the prices are going up. You've got portions that are getting reduced. You've got plates that are getting smaller. In fact, I've got a tiny plate story, which actually will fit in nicely right after this. Is that it, Rick?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that we used to go out once or twice a week.
Yeah, hey, same deal.
Now we go like once a month.
Same deal over here. Yep.
We stay local. It's not that we travel a lot to go out. Like in Dunedin and Palm Harbor, there's a lot of decent places to go. But like I said, it's a combination of value and the experience in the restaurant.
Rick?
I don't know if people get more ruder or louder as we go out, but it's not as enjoyable as it used to be.
Yeah, Rick, thank you. Good observations. I will go from Rick to James. Rick James. Hello, James. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, guys. Good morning. And funny story, my wife's name is Jessie, so we get the Jesse James joke a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what? You just got the Rick James joke.
But yeah, we're both in our 40s. We have an autistic child and an atypical child, and we're kind of the same way. It's not worth spending the money to go out. We have a couple of jars at home that we've written down suggestions in, and we let the boys pick out, what we're going to do for dinner and then what movie we're going to watch or what game we're going to play for the evening. And they really seem to enjoy that. Even with our autistic child, he loves the interaction and being able to, really spend time with us and get into those moments. So I totally encourage being home more than going out, especially nowadays.
James, thanks for the call. Have a great week. Let me grab Shaver and then Brian. That's it. Shut it off. The phones won't stop on this thing. If you're just tuning in, staying in is the new going out. So we used to go out all the time. But we still go out, but just nowhere near as much. Shaver in Clearwater, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Yeah, how you doing, MJ? Rick stole my thunder. It's kind of the same thing with me. It's just a combination of factors. It's too expensive sometimes, and the experience is not there. And I'm 73, and I just don't feel like going out anymore at times.
Yeah.
When you get 73, trust me, you'll feel the same way.
Thank you, Shaver. I appreciate the call. Last one, Brian St. Pete. Brian, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Great topic, by the way. My wife and I, we found that we were going out less. Obviously, when the pandemic hit, like everybody, we stayed home, and we kind of kept that track for a little bit after the pandemic. But to Michelle's earlier point, we've always had this philosophy of having a date night every week. So we've gotten back into that over the last year for at least one night a week while still enjoying more time at the house. And for us, when we're going out, it really is, to the earlier caller's points, more the experience, whether it's a restaurant where we know the staff or something that's really worth taking the time to go out and enjoy it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. We could have taken calls for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, we could have.
Yeah, Andrew's turning the damn things away. All right. I thought it was a good topic. That's why I brought it up. Hey, speaking of like food costs and everything, and listen, restaurants are getting hammered because the costs of everything, just the cost of operating has been going through the roof. So I saw an item that American Airlines in their lounges, they're pissing people off. You want to talk about shrinkflation?
What are they doing?
So if you're, a certain flyer status with the different airlines, you get into the Delta Club, the American Airlines, what is it, the Admirals Club. You know what's going on? There are a bunch of complaints. American Airlines, with the free food, they're giving people these little bitty, teensy-weensy, tiny plates.
Oh, yeah.
And they're making the plates so small.
Yeah.
That you can barely get crap on the plates. And it's like you're fumbling around, like putting your food on like a bottle cap.
I've noticed that. Wait, the clubs that we've been to, the lounges, I've noticed that when we go, it's the smallest of plate that's available. And I'm like, okay, so you have a buffet of, 12 items.
Look at this plate. You can't even fit a breakfast sausage on it.
Exactly.
What is this? Where did you get this?
View from the Wing.
A great aviation website is View from the Wing.
Yep.
Just great stories about travel. View from the Wing. Fester just found a story. Guy's got a breakfast sausage. It's not even like a hot dog. It's a bread. And
Yeah.
it can't even fit on the plate. The sausage is too big for the little bitty plate.
You have to cut it in half.
Where's your eggs and toast going to go?
That's the point. So the deal is they're shrinking the
Mm-hmm.
plates to reduce the food costs, to try to discourage people, take less food. It costs them less money. And American Airlines is now being called out in their lounges with these tiny little teensy little plates that people can barely get crap on.
That's why I travel with my own plates.
You need to bring the big picnic plates in your carry-on luggage. So you go to the buffet with your own plate. You walk into the Admirals Club American Airlines Lounge or Delta or whatever, United Lounge. You bring your own plate in, and that's what you do. Bring a serving platter.
Load up everything.
That's what you ought to do. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you liked it. Go ahead and click, share, subscribe, all this stuff.